Believe in yourself. This phrase has been uttered so many times, likely in your entire life, that by the time you reach the ages of 40, 50, 60, etc., you have undoubtedly heard this countless times, practically to the point of cliche. If you're like me and were raised in a typical westernized school, you may even recall seeing posters on your school walls, the cafeteria walls, that always tell you to believe in yourself, no matter what, believe in yourself. And though this is certainly something that I applaud, that's certainly something that we all needed to hear, it leaves wondering why, with all of this instruction that a lot of us were pretty much bathed in to believe in ourselves, why so many of us don't believe in ourselves, and why that's a huge problem. And most importantly, what we can do about it. Hi, my name is Keisha Dent. I'm a certified consulting hypnotist and the author of Life Change Now. And today I want to talk about the importance of self-belief. Now, as you may or may not know, I actually recently came out with a free program called Stop Holding Yourself Back. And it's all about the cycle of self-sabotage, how to recognize when it happens, and most importantly, how to challenge it, disrupt it, and begin to break unwanted patterns so that you can move forward, get different results, and a different life. Now, the thing about that too that I wanted to dive deeper into is the reasons that we self-sabotage can be varied, right? There's usually just a few reasons, but one of the reasons we may actually sabotage our own behaviors is a lack of self-belief, okay? So what is self-belief? Well, the biggest, most truthful answer is that self-belief is our engine, and it's really something that drives us forward and makes us know and understand that we will be successful. Now, self-belief, believing in yourself, believing in your ability to create change and to get things done is something that is extremely important, extremely vital, but also something that can often become eroded over time, even from well-meaning family members and loved ones and support systems. And the reason this happens often is self-belief really grows best under certain circumstances. It really grows best in both a high praise environment and also an environment where you see things, you see your power, you experience your power and are able as a witness to your power to know what you are capable of and know what you can do. When we don't have both of these things, we can tend to doubt ourselves, okay, which is the opposite of self-belief, self-doubt. And when we don't believe in ourselves, we don't truly believe that we're capable of achieving what we want, of having what we want, then that's when self-sabotage can actually come into the picture and can enter the picture and cause us to just sabotage ourselves, get in our own way, and completely undo unconsciously what we are trying to do. Okay, so what are some signs that you may have lower levels of self-belief? Well, one thing, of course, is comparisonitis, okay? So this is a fun word for a not so fun thing that often describes when we are constantly comparing ourselves and measuring ourselves to other people. And not only that, but we're often coming up short. We often see signs that we are less than other people, that other people have things that we don't, that we are just kind of broken or somehow just not really measuring up in some way. And when we do this a lot, and when we find that we are broken or inferior a lot, what that does is that's constantly telling us, under the surface, it's constantly giving us messages that because there's something wrong with us, that we're inferior, there's no way we can possibly get the same life that person B over here has, okay? And if I don't believe that that's actually possible for me because there's something wrong with me, then I'm likely just to give up, especially when I hit turbulence or resistance on my way to trying to change my life. And that's usually a given. You absolutely, in most cases, 99.9% of the time, you will receive some sort of resistance, bumpiness, turbulence, unexpected issues. But self-belief is one of the key factors in how you respond to that. Are you going to just be able to shake it off, shrug it off, let it not define you, and move forward? Or are you going to see it as confirmation bias for everything that you've believed about yourself and let it stop you and slow you down? So that is why self-belief is so important. It's really an engine that really pushes us forward through obstacles, because obstacles are going to always be had. Okay. And another question to ask, if you suspect that you may have lower levels of self-belief, do you believe that you would have what you want if it weren't for all of these terrible obstacles that are in your way? And they can be obstacles of birth, obstacles of how you're raised, of your class, your income level, your family, where you were born. The list goes on. Your race, whatever group of people you are in, where city, the place in the city, your neighborhood, your schooling, your education, your lack of education, etc. If you believe that these are obstacles to what you want, again, emphasis on belief. If you believe they are obstacles to what you want, you likely will not get what you want. Okay, and this is something that we all struggle with, something including myself. And I am not here at all to disregard truly big obstacles that are in your life. Yes, they absolutely present challenge, and there are definitely unfair advantages in this world that need to be addressed. And that is something that we all hope that the world is going to have a bigger conversation. It's started to have a bigger conversation on all levels regarding unfair advantages, increasing gaps between wealth and poverty, race relations, etc. Okay, sexual relations between the sexes and genders, 200%. However, that being said, for every person that presents said obstacle for why they can have what they want, I can probably show you several people who have that same obstacle and more who have overcome that obstacle and got what they want. So even though, yes, challenge is real, okay, it does exist and it is a thing. But if you truly deep down believe that this is something that prevents you from getting what you want, then it will prevent you from getting what you want, and it has to be overcome. Okay, so that could be a sign for why this happens. And if that is the case, again, you will most likely sabotage yourself, come up with excuses, come up with reasons, often unconsciously, about why you just suddenly can't be bothered. It can manifest as anything from feeling sick to procrastination, etc. Okay? So, another question to ask, one more, is, were you raised to be obedient? Okay, so obedience is also, can be an enemy to self-belief. Now, there's nothing wrong with being raised to be obedient, okay? We live in a society that does have rules, and it's really good that we honor them. The worst case scenario for going against obedience is what? Obviously, probably going to jail or whatnot. If you break laws, then that's going to have a bad consequence for you. However, there is such thing as too much of a good thing, and being raised to only appease other people, which is what obedience is at its base, is really being raised to appease others above yourself. Too much of that can absolutely tank and sabotage your self-belief. Okay, why is that? Well, self-belief, again, is really best comes from two things. It basically comes from praise, a combination of a lot of praise and a lot of building up of one's confidence, but also it comes from seeing and being a witness to your own power. And when you, for example, if you're raised to be obedient, you may have a lot of praise especially if you do what you're supposed to do. You get good grades, you behave, you please teachers, parents, authority figures with your performance. But at the same time, what may be lacking is experiencing your own power, because your own power is all about what you can do. And sometimes power is best expressed in a messy form and can actually be about what you want and seeing what you want be able to take hold. So I kind of like to view it as two faucets kind of pouring into you, right? So you have the one faucet, which is of course about praise, about giving yourself credit, okay? So what takes away a lot of our confidence, our self-belief? Harmful, harsh, critical words that are just poured on over and over and over and over again. This tends to take out and bleed away our self-belief and our confidence. The antidote to that is praise, encouragement, love, okay? So we always want to, as master hypnotherapist Marissa Peer says, we want to replace the inner critic, okay, with the inner coach or the inner cheerleader. Okay, that's one faucet. The other faucet is, again, seeing your power and seeing what you can do. When you start to accumulate and witness your power, when you start to see how strong and powerful you are, how capable you are, how powerful you are, then you start to believe it. Seeing is believing in that sense, but it's actually a loop, okay? Believing is seeing, okay? When you praise yourself, you believe you can do what you can do, which creates your ability to create more. And then when you create more, seeing is believing, and it creates a loop, okay? So it's possible there could be a break in that loop that can certainly disrupt your sense of self-belief. So what to do? Okay, so I generally like to bring it down to a simple formula, which pretty much goes that you want to praise, act, and repeat. So praise yourself often. Make it a absolute habit to give yourself credit, give yourself kind words. To really, you want to install an automatic inner coach in your head to replace an inner critic, which is so much more common. We unfortunately all come up with having an inner critic. We want to replace it. So that's the first thing, is to praise yourself every day. The second thing is to act, but not just any act. You want to take action that pushes you past your comfort zone. You want action that actually challenges you and that really kind of makes you a little nervous, like, oh, I don't know if I can quite do this. This makes me uncomfortable. I want to bolt out the room, okay? But I'm going to do it anyway. It makes me uncomfortable, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then you want to repeat that, okay? So that's so super important. So that is it for today. And definitely check out, if you like to become more mindful of self-sabotaging patterns and how to be on the lookout for them, disrupt them, and challenge them and change them, okay, so that you can get different results, then please check out my free video series, Stop Holding Yourself Back, which you can find on my website, www.newworldhypnosis.com, and it is free with e-newsletter sign up, okay? So check it out. If you are ready to work with me, if you are interested in learning how hypnosis can overcome these feelings of low self-belief, okay? If you are, because it is so much easier to be guided through it using hypnosis. If you are curious about how that can help you, please reach out to me for a free consultation when you're ready. You can, of course, find it at my website again, newworldhypnosis.com. Check it out. It, of course, is won't be any cost to you, and get your questions answered and get to know me. Okay. So thank you so much. I want to thank you for joining me for today's video, and check it out. I hope to hear from you soon in the future. And remember, to change your life, you must first change yourself. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Take care.